Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Heel Call Michael, and welcome to another installment of Heel Thoughts. And this topic I'm going to talk about is AEW are the best wrestling company. And this is not my opinion; it's a fact because I just got done watching MJF interview with Ariel, who pretty much talk about pro wrestling. But the reason I brought this up because MGF, I wish I would go back and watch the whole thing. I see like clips of it. MGF speak highly for AEW, and he thought some names who pretty much weed out the people who just joined the AEW for a stepping stone. Prime example, Makala Black. But as a wrestling fan as a whole, this is nothing new. We knew that AEW is going to be the best wrestling company. Are they a best of sports entertainment? To be honest, no. I would give that title to DDT Pro Wrestling. If you don't know what's DDT Pro Wrestling, this stands for Dramatic Dream Team Pro Wrestling. It took place in Japan. They are very funny. They're entertaining, and I think they are the most. Well, I don't think. I know they're the most well balanced pro wrestling I've seen. Way better than WWE. And I know there could be some WWE OVO weeboos jabronis is gonna be like, you can't talk about my WWE like that. Trust me, they're out there. But as a purist, I feel like AEW has always been the best pro wrestling. Um, they got great relationship with New Japan, CMLL, Stardom, any other promotion you can think of. They got a great relationship. But we talk about core. We talk about attracting towards to hardcore fans, purist fans, and you just love everything about them. I think, well, I don't think, I know that AEW check every single box. They give you some great matches. They did that. They give you from 0 hours to the main event, great, phenomenal matches. Now, I do say their pay per view can be a little bit long, but it's always entertaining and great. Also, that's some cool down match, but still be great. They have a whole boatload of tag team. Because I remember the earlier year of AEW, they had some great tag teams. I mean, trio tag teams. I mean, you name it. They had the best tag team divisions in pro wrestling. If you want to compare it to New Japan or Noah, but AEW got it. Then you look at the women. The women rosters of today is more stacked. They're more athletic. They put out some bangers. I mean, they blew WWE out the water with their matches. And not only that, me as a belt collector, every single championship titles matters. They don't treat it like a prop. They treat it with highly respect. Now, the only title it need to be catching up is the international title, in which we will see that being defended just upcoming days of Double or Nothing. But we look at every single championship titles, all the titles being represented so well. The AEW World Championship, the TNT, the TBS, the Women World Championship, the Tag Team title, the Trio Tag Team titles, Continental title, the International Championship. Um, that's all I can think of. And I know people would complain about, oh, there's too many titles. For y'all, shut up. Because back in the day, WCW had a whole boatloads of titles. From WCW had like 6 man tag team titles. AEW they got trio tag team titles. And don't be surprised if we get the women trio tag team titles. The way we be seeing trio tag team matches. But with everything what MJF said on that interview, that he's not lying. And every single time I watch AEW show, I walk away happy. Now, Only time that AEW would have not a bad pay per view, but a okay pay per view. Um, I would say highly based on the main event. I think the only two pay per views that leave like a bad taste in our mouth was I want to say last year last year Revolution. Was it last year Revolution or Dynasty? No, Revolution. When John Moxley was the AEW champion and he defended against Adam Copeland, then Christian Cage come in and he pretty much tried to cash it in. That's kind of like leave a little damper in the pay per view. Um, Also, I would say the Kenny Omega and the Kenny Omega and John Moxley exploding barbed wire death match. um, that match, oof. I think that was either Full Gear. I think it was Full Gear. I believe. I forgot what year it was, but it was a long, long time ago. I think during the pandemic. Oof. That exploding barbed wire death match was a joke. And that's the only time you hear me give negative opinion about AEW is that two match. Um, and I think only one moment it was kind of like a head scratcher was I want to say Chris Jericho and MJF musical segment. That's about it. But um, everything else is phenomenal. Everything else is perfect. No, I can't say perfect because they're not perfect, but they're awesome. But one thing I will say about AEW is AEW always come out with some banger matches, and that's something that WWE have failed to do ever since TKO partnered up with WWE. It's been downhill. Like, if you want to be real, when Vince McMahon left the first time around, you can see and feel that WWE is headed to the right direction. They really are. And the first time ever, I felt like, okay, WWE is doing a good job. AEW is doing a good job. New Japan's on fire. Noah's on fire. DDT kicking ass. Stardom, they doing a phenomenal job. It was a wonderful time to be alive, to be a wrestling fan. Until TKO wanted to partner up with WWE. And to be honest with y'all, I thought that TKO, their job is promote WWE, uh, be on the business side, and just open or broaden more audience. In which they already did, but they want to do more money wise. That's where we see sponsor on the ring. We see a whole bunch of boatload of DoorDash commercial on Netflix, and that's really dampered the whole experience. Become being a WWE fans. Same thing with WrestleMania. WrestleMania not one is like Drake new album. All three of them. WrestleMania one trash. It was trash. Well, the Drake album was trash, but WrestleMania one was doo doo. But they're the same anyway. But anyway, but when you see that, it's kind of like distant themselves away from the core fans. Even the hardcore fans who love pro wrestling, it's kind of like leave a bad taste. Meanwhile, AEW give you what you want. You want a 5-star match, they got you. You want some pay per view level matches, they got you. And if you really want to be honest, I would say look at the champions. And we comparing to Darby Allin. Matter of fact, MJF and Darby Allin this year, they made that title prestige and they defend that title every single night. Comparing to Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Now, me, I'm a big CM Punk fan, and I will give him credit where it's due. He made the World Heavyweight Championship very important, and he defended. He shows up, he show out, and I will give him much needed credit. Is it better than CM Punk AEW Championship title reign in AEW? It could have been better. I will say that. But with CM Punk and Roman Reigns title defense versus MJF and Darby Allin title defense, if I would have to, if I had to compare those two, I would have to give it to MJF and Darby Allin. So, like I said, they shows up every single night on Dynamite and Collision. They defend the title every single night, including the pay-per-views, and their match or their matches are replayable. When I say it's replayable, you can hop on HBO Max or myaew.com or YouTube, and you can go back and rewatch their classic matches. Compared to Roman Reigns, in which it was mid, and CM Punk is sometimes good and some is great, but you will bang for your buck, no pun intended. You will bang for your buck when you watch MJF and Darby Allin. And right now, their matches are way better. Now, me as a purist, I don't care about promos. I don't care about talking. But if you want to talk about talking, what MJF did brought up in an interview, AEW, they do have some best talkers. I mean, MJF, Swerve, Samoa Joe, plenty of people who's the best talkers on the mic. Even Ricochet. Now, we do have some talkers in WWE. You know, I will give them credit. The Usos, CM Punk, of course, Roman Reigns, um, Trick Williams, Carmella Hayes. Well, they're both good in NXT. I like the NXT Trick Williams and Carmella Hayes, but and Obafemi here and there. But AEW, bar none. And you look at the women's. I mean, Theta, I love her to death. The Toxic Spider, Willow Nightingale, best TBS champion. Those women put out, and also the tag team women champions. They did a phenomenal job with them, and they make them feel important. Now, same thing with Ring of Honor, in which they are partnered up with AEW as well. We just got done watching Ring of Honor, Super Card of Honor. For me, in my humble opinion, that's one of my favorite pay per view of this spring. I would say this spring, right next to Wrestling Dotaku Night 1 and 2. But for this one, I love it for Ring of Honor because they have the women main event on Ring of Honor pay per view, in which it was beautiful. And I would say this with AEW. Back then, and this is how I know that AEW is going to surpass WWE wrestling wise. I think it was the night when Brock Lesnar became the Money in the Bank winner, and he just hopped in the show and just win the briefcase. I think that's the first time ever the fans start chanting AEW. I think another time they chant AEW in a WWE show. I think it was a Hell in a Cell match with Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins. They did that, and also there's two scenarios that WWE is scared of AEW. AEW held a press conference, not a show, not pay per view, not even a first episode of Collision or Dynamite, I would say. A press conference. And they announced AEW. I think it was on the exact same day as SmackDown. And the moment they did that, and I believe this was the first time ever we see Rey Mysterio did a Mexican destroyer or Canadian destroyer. And I think he was facing Andrade on SmackDown. When I saw that, I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, WWE never done that move before. Just now AEW is on their ass. Now WWE won't pull some dope shit. In which it was mad random. The second scenario, it was a Hall of Fame when DX got inducted. And I think Triple H said, yeah, we we go over there and buy the t-shirt company so we can fire you. Boy, that bite them around the ass. Because ever since then, AEW was on their neck. And you can see WWE switching up, and they tried to keep up with AEW. Because no other company who made WWE to switch up, like WCW and ECW back in the day during the Monday Night War. But now with AEW, they're showing they're the best. Now, money wise, rating wise, we don't care about that. Only WWE weeboos will bring that up, try to win their pointless argument. But as a purist, in my heart, as a wrestling fan, I truly agree with MJF said. I truly believe that AEW been surpassing AEW, and they are a better wrestling company than WWE from top to bottom. That's not a spoiler. That's not a prediction. That is a fact. Yeah, I know I butchered Paul Heyman shit, but who cares? But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this topic. Give me your thoughts about it. To all my wrestling fans, share, like, comment. If you want to support the channel, that's my Cash App at the end of the video. Drop some coins. I will lovely appreciate it. I'm your boy Hill. Until then, I see you guys next time. Goodbye.